Okay, hello and welcome to the Page Podcast. I have a few corrections, because last time, you might have noticed that I tried to link a channel, but you may have noticed that the channel seems a little odd. That's because this 24-year-old man is not my brother. It was an accident. I'll try to link it properly this time. Sorry about that. Here's episode 2. So, last time, what we've missed is, it was a few minor things, or a couple of big things happened, but it wasn't huge. Percy gets expelled, so, yay. What else? Oh yes, his best friend Grover explains the myth of the Fates, 3 magical women with balls of string, and each string represents a person's lifeline, and if they cut it, you die. And finally, Percy gets a mysterious address to Half-Blood Hill, which Grover says is its summer address. So, that's what happened last time. Now let's get into what's gonna happen this time. Let's go to page 29, chapter 3. Grover unexpectedly loses his trousers. So, this one explains a lot, but it's not really action-packed. The next one definitely is, so we'll get into that then. So, chapter 3. Grover unexpectedly loses his trousers. Confession time. I ditched Grover as soon as we got to the bus terminal. I know, it was rude. But Grover was freaking me out, looking at me like I was a dead man, muttering, "Why does this always happen? And why does it always have to be the 6th grade?" So, he's giving some hints, and if you haven't read and I'll try to stay spoiler-free for the rest of the books, but if you've read to the end of the 2nd book, you'll know what he's referring to. And boy golly is it big. Okay. Whenever he got upset, Grover's bladder acted up, so I wasn't surprised as soon as we got off the bus, he made me promise to wait for him. Sorry. Then he made a beeline for the restroom. Instead of racing, I got my suitcase, slipped outside, and caught the first taxi uptown. East 100 and 4th and 1st Avenue, I told the driver. A word about my mother, before you meet her. Her name is Sally Jackson, and she's the best person in the world, which just proves my theory that the best people have the rottenest luck. Her own parents died in a plane crash when she was 5, and she was raised by an uncle who didn't care much about her. She wanted to be a novelist, so she spent high school working to save enough money for college with a good creative writing program. Then her uncle got cancer, and she had to quit school in her senior year to take care of him. So that was that page, and boy golly, that was a little shocker and a downer. So, nothing much happens in this, so they drive to the mysterious Camp Half-Blood place, and Grover reveals he's a stayer, half goat leg, half human. So, it's not that much a surprise, because earlier, I said in the last episode, but I don't think I mentioned this, he wears crutches and he makes really bad noises when he's anxious, so that was a pretty big giveaway. So, chapter 4. I gotta find the page now. Here we go. Let's oh yeah, and in this chapter they talk about Percy's dad, who, if you don't know, is a god. Because, Anyways, they talk about how his mom met them, and they talk about marshmallows and stuff like that, regular camping stuff that you talk with your mom about. So, chapter 4, and I wanted to just talk about that last chapter. And more Percy's mom in general. I think when we finish this chapter, I'll explain it, but I'll go a little more in depth. But basically, I want to talk about something called the Mist. But we'll get to that when we get to that. So, chapter 4. My mother teaches me bullfighting. Quick little fact. So, you know how the matadors always go away and they wave the red cloth to get the bull's attention? It's not the red that angers them, it's the movement. Bulls are actually colorblind. So if you did, I don't know, the Macarena in front of them, they'd probably get angry and kill you. But then again, if you did the Macarena in front of me, I'd probably get angry and kill you as well. Anyways, chapter 4. We tore through the night along dark country roads. Wind slammed against the Camaro, rain lashed down the windshield. I didn't know how my mom could see anything, but she kept her foot on the gas. Every time there was a flash of lightning, I looked at Grover sitting next to me in the back seat, and I wondered if I had gone insane, or if he was wearing some kind of shag carpet trousers. But no, the smell was one I remembered from kindergarten field trips to the petting zoo. Linen, like from wool. They smelled like a wet barnyard animal. All I could think to say was, so you and my mom know each other? Grover's eyes flitted to the rear-view mirror, though there was no cars behind us. Not exactly, he said. I mean, we've never met in person, but she knew I was watching you. Watching me? Keeping tabs on you, making sure you're okay. But I wasn't faking being your friend, he added hastily. I am your friend. What are you exactly? So, in this chapter, this is what I was talking about, action-packed. Now, because we're only reviewing the first page, we don't really get a lot of action chapters, but this is a big sad moment in the book, which triggers the events of the entire book. Percy's mom dies. Yay! They get attacked by a minotaur, which is like a bull with human legs, and Percy's mom dies. Woo! Yay! Woo! Yay! So that happens, and then they get Percy kills it, and then they get dragged into Camp Half-Blood, which is as we've discussed something. Now I'm only saying we haven't reached 10 minutes, so that's where I'm going for these episodes. So we're gonna review one more chapter. And, oh yeah, now, as I was saying before, I was talking about something, so I want to just expand on it further. So, in that chapter, they talk about something called the mist, which is what, mortals see. So if you saw a big bull man thing, this is how they explain away, all the stuff that's going to go on in front of mortals who don't know what's going on. So, basically, if you saw him, fighting a monster, you wouldn't see that. You'd see a little boy trying to feed a pigeon. So, and there are some mortals you can see through the mist, and one of them was Percy's mom. So, I'm wondering something. I always was wondering this. So, demigods can see through the mist, but if your grandfather, or if you were related to a demigod, does that mean you don't have powers, but you can see through it? Food for thought. So anyways, chapter 5. I'm sure you've been waiting for this. There's my mother teaches me bullfighting. One sec, I gotta find it. I pay Pinchall with a horse. I had weird dreams full of barnyard animals. Always a great way to start off a chapter. It sounds like something you would say to his therapist. I have weird dreams about barnyard animals. Most of them wanted to kill me. The rest wanted food. I must have woken up several times, but what I heard made no sense. What I heard and saw made no sense. So I just passed out again. I remember lying in a soft bed, being spoon-fed something that tasted like buttered popcorn, only it was pudding. The girl with curly blonde hair hovered over me, smirking as she scraped drips off my chin with a spoon. When she saw me open my eyes, she asked, "What will happen at the summer solstice?" I managed to croak. "What?" She looked around, as if afraid someone would overhear her. "What's going on? What was stolen? We've only got a few weeks." "I'm sorry," I mumbled. I don't. Someone knocked on the door, and the girl quickly filled my mouth with pudding. The next time I woke up, the girl was gone. A husky blonde dude, like a surfer, stood in the corner of the bedroom, keeping watch over me. He had blue eyes, at least a dozen of them. He had blue eyes, at least a dozen of them, on his cheeks, on his forehead, on the back of his hands. So, in this chapter, we get introduced to a few brand new characters. We have the camp leader, Chiron, who is what's the word I'm looking for here? Centaur. There it is. Then we also have the camp director, Mr. D, or Dinius, who is the 12th Olympian and the god of wine. And then we also get introduced to the blonde-haired woman, whose name is Annabeth, and the dude with eyes on him is called Argus, I think. And one more character, Percy's camp leader. So obviously it's a camp and they need to have cabins, so they have cabin leaders, and Percy gets pushed into one of them cabins, and the cabin leader is called Luke, and he is one of the characters we get introduced to in this chapter. So that's all we really need to worry about. There's talks about things getting stolen, specifically something. Now, I wonder what that is. The title is called The Lightning Thief, and something's got stolen. I wonder what could have been stolen. Was it a donut? We'll have to find out next time. I've been Sam, and this is the Page Podcast. See you next time. Bye.